Liubov Velychko is a Ukrainian investigative journalist based in Kyiv. Her reporting areas include corruption, Russian disinformation, Russian intelligence service influence, operations, sanctions, circumvention, energy politics, environmental crime and money laundering. She's published in major Ukrainian outlets, including Liga.net, Mind.ua, Slovo, Dilo, and as a member of OCCRP and N-vestigate. Since Russia's full-scale invasion, she's focused heavily on Russia's information and influence infrastructure, FSB temnyki, I think that's what it's called, or talking point systems, sanction evasions, Russian lobbying in international institutions, and the toxicity of Russian energy sector influence. She also examines the Ukrainian Orthodox Church under the Moscow Patriarchate, or UOC-MP, not simply as a religious body, but as an influence network, financially dependent, hierarchically disciplined, culturally embedded, and vulnerable to Moscow's coercive leverage. She has cooperated in writing a fantastic article on this subject. That's the basis of this conversation. I hope you find this topic as important as I do, and her opinions on it as powerful as they're expressed in this article. Please do check out the link in the description. Liubov, welcome back to the channel. I should tell people this isn't your first time on the channel. If they like this, they should check out the previous appearances.
Hello, Jonathan, and hello to all audience.
We should probably explain where we are and what the significance of this is, actually, because people are wondering. This is slightly more, let's say, decorative than my usual studio.
Right now we are situated in the city named Kyiv, on the territory of Kyivo-Pecherska Lavra, which is the very ancient Orthodox Church, and the church which during last 60 years was under the influence of Moscow Patriarchate, which means this church was under huge political influence of Russia. And just few years ago, in 2023, on the second year of full-scale invasion, Ukraine's authorities were able to kick out Russian priests from this territory, and basically just few hundred meters away from here, now I think Jonathan will show the photos, one of the buildings, one of the churches, Uspensky Sobor, was attacked by Russian missiles on the 15th of June this year, and this is a very significant action, because Russians bombed a church which was under the protection of Russia for decades.
One of the questions people are going to ask, well, first of all, I think some background. People might not necessarily understand that there is an independent Ukrainian Orthodox Church, and that there still is operating a Russian church, Orthodox Church, that reports into or is affiliated with the Moscow Patriarchate. Before we jump into the detail, could you just give a little bit of an outline of what these two churches are? And indeed, people might be a little confused as to why the Moscow Patriarchate one actually still exists at all.
Most of Ukrainians belong to Orthodox Church, and right now in Ukraine we have two types of Orthodox churches. One is under the Russian influence, which we call it Ukrainian Orthodox Church of Moscow Patriarchate, and another one is Ukrainian Orthodox Church, which is independent from Russia and from Moscow, and so there is a huge difference between those two churches, because Moscow Patriarchate was always the part of the political influence of Russia. Since 1960s, it was working in Ukraine freely because it was loyal to Soviet Union and to USSR, and that means it was loyal to Moscow. And even after the independence of Ukraine in 1991, this church still were connected with Moscow very much. It means that it had a vertical structure, and the head administration of the church in Ukraine was still based in Moscow. And right now, even though it is the 5th year of full-scale invasion, and we have still the Moscow Patriarchate Church in Ukraine, and it means for us, for Ukrainians, is a branch of Russian Church with this the huge influence of Russia on the people who are priests in this church in Ukraine. And it means that millions of Ukrainians right now go to churches which are under the political influence of Russia.
One of the provocative phrases, I think, or one of the quotes in your article is, "Try slavery, you'll like it." That phrase really struck me, but it also brings up the question of why priests don't leave the Russian Orthodox Church under the Moscow Patriarch, why they don't just join the other one if there is an independent church.
There are many answers to this one question, and because there are many answers, they all together make those priests real slaves. First of all, we need to understand that the priests of Moscow Patriarchate, they were raised in the seminaries, like special places where people have the education to become a priest. They had the teachers who were also the part of Russian religion infrastructure, and for decades those people were involved into this network, and they became very, very tightly close to Russia, not only ideologically but on the human level. It means for decades they had friends, they had relatives, they were very, very close together with all the people who involved into this infrastructure. And it means if you want to go out from Moscow Patriarchate Church, you just feel like you go out from the family and you become some kind of isolated. And of course, if you have such a big network of people with whom you were living all your life, it's not so easy to become a sociopath and to go out from this huge network. And of course, the second level of why they don't leave the Moscow Patriarchate is because they're afraid Russians FSB much more than they afraid Ukrainian SBU. Like they really understand that if Russians will come here and this territory will be occupied, those priests who betrayed the Moscow Patriarchate, they will be killed, or they will be imprisoned, or they will be raped. Like very terrible things will happen with them. And they whisper to each other the stories about other priests who were kidnapped and killed and who are right now, who were on the occupied territory, and they don't want to have the same story with them. And that is why they understand that it's better and safer for them to stay here in the structure which is connected with Russia. And of course there is economical level when we understand that Russia is sponsoring churches who are in the Moscow Patriarchate, and that is why if they cut their relationships with Moscow, they will have less money. And many of their businesses is also connected with Russia, and many of their relatives are connected with Russia, and it's very hard for them to cut up themselves from the economical source of their survivals. As we all know, officially priests don't have salaries in Ukraine, so state power, of course, don't give them money, and they understand if they will not be loyal and if they will go out, they will have nothing to eat. And these are like three main reasons, and even those three are enough for them to make decision to stay.
We're going to dig into some of those ideas in more detail because I think they're incredibly important. The way you describe it, it makes it sound like the Russian Orthodox Church under Kirill operates more like a cult than a spiritual organization. It sounds like the operating system is based on coercion and the creation of dependency, not volunteering or being free to go in and out. Is it safe to sort of think of it in that way?
Yes, Moscow Patriarchate is a very authoritarian kind of church. It means that the priest feels that he is under control, and if he will say something which is not connected with the ideas from Moscow and which is opposite to that, it's 100% sure that somebody upper will get know about it, and it means that first they will say publicly on their gatherings that look at that priest, he doesn't follow our ideas. If he will not stop continuing to be a oppositioner, he will be kicked out from the good big church and into the small village where he have no chances to survive financially. And even if afterwards he will continue what he did in the small village, he will be again kicked out from the church, and he will not be able to be a priest anymore. That is why a priest feels that he is under control all the time, and he needs to follow the ideology of Russia. And the only one way not to do this is to be some kind of diplomat when you don't copy-paste the narratives of Russia very directly, but try not to talk much on the topics which suits to Kremlin's ideas and targets. That is why right now in Ukraine we have the situation when some priests are so good in diplomacy that they even gather money for the army of Ukraine, and not many Ukrainians know about it, basically, because they think that all priests who are in churches of Moscow Patriarchate, they all hate Ukraine and they all want to become a part of Russia, which is not true. Because again, as I told you before, there are several reasons why they don't leave the church. And plus to the reasons I told you, for example, there is another legal problem for the priests, which means that many churches, like buildings of the churches, belong to the concrete people, and it means if the priest decides to go out from Moscow Patriarchate to Ukrainian Orthodox Church, he needs to physically go out from the church. And for example, if this church is situated in the village, which is not very big, or in the town where are not many churches, there will be no other place for him to be a priest. And it's not easy to make a decision to go out from the church where, for example, you were a priest for many years, for decades. And that is why this is the fourth reason why they again decide to stay.
So this is another question people are going to be asking, but actually I think I partly know the answer to this, because I've spoken to lots of people who have maybe elderly relatives, mothers, aunts in villages, and they continue to go to the Orthodox Church under Kirill. What do you think the reasons are that actually the congregations still go, even though there are warnings to be careful, there are warnings of the affiliation of the church? You'll find many people still go as the congregations. What's driving them to do that?
People think about the Church of Moscow Patriarchate not like about the ideological place or the place where there are some Russian or not Russian narratives. They are thinking just about the church where they get used to go every Sunday. They go to this church, again, they know the priest, they know the other people who go there. For them, it's like a community where they get used and to go, and the community they know and feel safe. That is why just the information that this is a church which belongs to Moscow Patriarchate is not a strong argument for them to leave this church. And again, in many villages, there is only one church. And if you want to go to another church, you need to go to another village. And it's not that easy, even from the point of view of logistics. That is why people continue to go to the only church they have in their village, because they feel safe and they feel comfortable there.
And this, I think, is important because you talk about the fact that actually not every priest is cooperating with Russian narratives. Not every priest is compromised. So how does this work? How does the coercive leverage, I think the article calls it, work from Moscow? Is it only the upper hierarchy of priests, the sort of management level, or do they try to penetrate all the way down through to local priests? I can't really understand, what interest they're in and what level of control they want to exert.
First of all, we need to understand that there is a hierarchy, and on the highest level in Moscow, they produce the narrative. Then they laud this narrative publicly. Plus, they laud these narratives on the priests' meetings, where for the first level of these meetings are the priests who are the leaders of the region, for example, or the smaller like oblast region in Ukraine. And so they voice these narratives there, not publicly, just in their circle. For the priests who come to these types of gatherings, this is a sign that this is our line of ideology. We need to copy-paste these narratives. And then these priests, they go to the local level and they spread these narratives. But again, it depends on the situation and on the region, and it even depends on the person with whom the priest is talking. Because the priest knows if, for example, this person he's talking to is very pro-Russian, then he can tell what he thinks about Russian and Ukrainian relationships in a very pro-Russian narrative. But if this priest sees that this person is patriotic, basically, then the priest needs to be very diplomatic and to use more light versions of these narratives, not to make the fight with the person who comes to his church. That is why it means they are very flexible, and they always think about how the audience will take their information. And there are priests who are in the Moscow Patriarchate, but they are using Ukrainian language when they talk to the people in their church, because, for example, they live in Western region where nobody speaks Russian at all, and if he will speak in Russian language, for the people who came to him, it will be a very strong side that he is pro-Russian, and obviously no one will want to listen what he says. And this trick also helps them not to be under the control of Ukrainian SBU, meaning that there are not so many reasons for SBU to tell that they are like pro-Russian, because they are very accurate with what they are saying and with whom they are talking.
This is an interesting point I was going to come to later, but let's tackle this right now. If I was in the intelligence service, I'd want to know, I'd want to keep an eye on, because if you have a church that potentially is being influenced by the country that's attacking you, you'd want at least to be monitoring. So is it correct to assume that there's a certain degree of monitoring going on?
Of course, I know that the officers of SBU is in the contact with the people who are serving in the Moscow Patriarchate churches. So they are really controlling more or less what is going on there. And the priests, of course, they are not interested to go to the jail for betrayal of national security interests. That is why they are also, again, trying to be very accurate. And they know that there is some line which they cannot cross, the red line. And of course, Ukraine is a democracy. It's not authoritarian regime like Russia, so we don't use the methods which Russia does. We don't use repressions, and that means that is why Moscow Patriarchate churches are still exist in Ukraine, and no one prohibiting to people to go to churches who are under control of Moscow Patriarchate. But thanks to the monitoring system I was talking about, those priests, they don't become crazy and not spreading the information about Russia in the way that Russia really wants them to do. Because if they will do that, again, there will be a reasonable fact for SBU to make a criminal investigations against them and to put them into jail. And if you will look at the statistics, there are like hundreds of criminal cases against priests who are in the Church of Moscow Patriarchate because those priests crossed the red line and they betrayed the state and they betrayed the people who live in Ukraine.
So people are going to be thinking, well, this sounds a little bit vague, but what you've said there is incredibly important because there have been 180 criminal cases against priests of the Moscow-linked church. And these are not just minor infractions. This is for treason, collaboration, justification of aggression, and aiding Russia. I mean, this is a serious number of allegations and cases. This seems to me that this is a significant threat, actually, to the state of Ukraine. This number of cases, one assumes that there are many more that haven't been brought to trial, that are still awaiting. Do you think of this as a major security threat to Ukraine in wartime?
Of course. Priests are people who are Ukrainians are trusting. And for Russia, it's a very good and useful to have the connection with people through priests because they can put the right ideas into their minds, even don't using social medias and other sources of information. And this type of influence is very strong because, again, it's repeatable. People go to church on a regular basis, and I saw personally many people who are following the pro-Russian ideas because the priest in their church was telling them this. For example, the idea that there is no Ukrainian nation and that Russians, Belarusians and Ukrainians is the one nation. And that is why it's not reasonable to fight against Russia because anyway we are the part of the Russia. And this narrative is very dangerous because it lowers our resilience against Russians. And even right now, today, in Moscow Patriarchate churches, they are telling about the Russian-Ukrainian war as «братовбивча війна», which translates as the war where brother kills a brother, because they say that Ukrainians and Russians are brothers, which is of course not true because we are separate nations and we have different ideology.
And something we mentioned in the introduction, which I think you called FSB temnyki, is that right? The sort of themes, the narratives. You've mentioned a few here which are sort of hard narratives, erasure narratives, Ukraine doesn't exist, etc. And that's obvious. But there are softer narratives which aren't necessarily criminal, but are destructive. For instance, we only want peace. Not to talk about victory, not to talk about resistance, but we're for peace. That seems to me quite a dangerous narrative, well, in the current circumstances, because it encourages people to surrender. Do you see this as one of the core indicators, perhaps, of someone who is maybe aligned with the Moscow Patriarch, using specifically that narrative and ones related to it?
Yes, they are also spreading this kind of narrative because, again, peace on the conditions of Russia means that Ukraine give up our territories and give up our national interests and give up, first of all, our people who are right now are stuck on the occupied territories. And this is against the constitution of Ukraine. And this again means it's a betrayal of our national interests. And this is a very, very dangerous idea. And I also heard from the people who are visiting the Moscow Patriarchate churches that yes, too many people had died during the war, so we need to stop the war because the peace is the main value, and we need to forgive all bad things which happened with Ukrainians and to continue live as we lived before.
which under the circumstances Russia's not going to stop, so that I can see why that would be incredibly dangerous. And this leads to the next question: is there a difference between the operation of the Orthodox Church in occupied territories compared to unoccupied territories, free Ukraine? And do we know of any communication actually between priests and structures in the occupied territories and those here, potentially sharing ideas and learnings that put forward Moscow's strategic objectives?
On the not occupied territories, priests are working more in accurate way, because again they understand that if they will cross their lines, they will be in jail. But on the occupied territories, priests feel free to work on maximum with the Russian administration, and they are very, very well connected, and they're working on all levels, again to brainwash the people who stayed on the occupied territories, to calm them down and to promise that after Russia will stay here, they will live much better compared to how they lived under the control of Ukrainian authorities. And answering the second part of your question, if our authorities would know that Ukrainian priests who are on the not occupied territories are in the close contact with priests who are on occupied territories, that will be a reason for them to start the investigation, the criminal investigation, because we have in the criminal code the article which says that this is a collaboration with the enemy, and for that you can again to go to the jail for 10 years. So officially there are, if some communication is going on, very fast it will be well known by Ukrainian authorities, and these priests will have big problems with that.
And do you see any difference in the teachings or even the philosophy between the two churches? Because you've written in the article that the Moscow Patriarch has much more of an obedience culture, a hierarchy. We'll come to resources in a minute, but it seems there's a big cultural difference. In Kharkiv, I met an Orthodox priest under the Independent Church, and he was one of the first priests actually to go to the Independent Ukrainian Church when that was possible. He said that individualism is important in a free Ukrainian church. And that, of course, is aligned with the idea of Maidan, of freedom, of agency. But these values are not emphasized, and indeed in some ways are denied within the Moscow Patriarch. In your research, did you come across those ideas, and how important are they?
Yes, when I was comparing the ideology in the structures of Ukrainian Orthodox Church and the Moscow Patriarchate churches, I also saw that huge difference, and I saw that these churches are copy-pasting on somehow the ideology in the countries, Ukraine versus Russia. In Ukrainian Orthodox churches, as you said, the priests really also say that they feel that they are free to tell what they think, and they don't struggle so much with the dominating thought from the leader of the church, and that means that they can be more flexible, and they can spread the right ideas, and they don't afraid to not agree with somebody from the higher level, and this is the signs of the democracy, basically, because as I told, in Moscow Patriarchate churches, it is a very vertical structure with a very authoritarian regime inside, and if you are against the main priest, it means you are against the church, and you will be kicked out from the structure very fast. That is why priests in Moscow Patriarchate, they afraid to not agree, and they keep silent, and copy-pasting the narratives from above, because they want to stay on their positions and to have their influence.
Here's where I think one of the darkest and most disturbing ideas of your article comes out, and this is that even if it's not doing anything coercive at the moment, that parts of the church under the Moscow Patriarch create a network for future occupation. It's almost an infrastructure that's laying the foundations for control if or when a territory is occupied. That seems like a very dark idea. Do we see the evidence perhaps of that in territories that were taken by Russia in the invasion?
Of course, priests are talking with hundreds and thousands of people, brainwashing them. Plus, there are hundreds of examples when the church, the building of the church, was used as a place where Russian diversants were hiding, or like Russian soldiers were hiding from Ukraine state power, or when the building of church was used to save the weapon which was used by Russians. And of course, this is not the function of the church to become military part of the infrastructure, but in fact it is used as a military infrastructure. And I know that abroad in the Western Europe and in Eastern Europe there are also Moscow Patriarchate churches, and their state power does not realize the threat, because they get used to that church is out of the politics, and it doesn't matter where it was based, because it's a religious organization, not the political organization. And right now it would be very good if they would wake up and to see what Moscow Patriarchate did in Ukraine and how it was used against the national interests of Ukrainian state, because abroad in other countries the function of Moscow Patriarchate is the same, to influence on the people and to spread the pro-Russian ideas there. And if we will go and understand the amount of the influence, we need to understand that we are talking about millions of people who are visiting these thousands of churches around the world in Russian under the protection of Moscow Patriarchate. And those millions of people, they are basically may be an agents of Russia, sometimes not even realizing that they are just useful idiots, you know. And people, if we will explain those people about how this organization is working and what are the goals of this organization, maybe those people will understand what they are doing when they are visiting this church. Because even if the state does not see this as a threat, it does not explain to the people the base of this organization, they will even not ask the questions. Because again, as in Ukraine, they go to the church not as to the political organization, but to the place where they feel safe and nice, and when they meet interesting people.
It must be difficult for priests who are sympathetic to Ukrainian cause and Ukrainian freedom, who still find themselves locked into this church. We'll talk in a minute about the mechanisms of how that happens in more detail. But I imagine that if they are supporting the armed forces of Ukraine, they have to be very careful that that information doesn't come out. How do they resist, however, not talking about Russian narratives? Because it must be observed by people higher up in the hierarchy that they're not perpetuating historical myths, that they're not repeating certain narratives, they're not working towards the script that's been suggested to them. How does this work? Do they find themselves eventually not getting promotions or being threatened? What do we know about the internal coercion in that way?
There is a rule that it's much easier to be as a priest, like independent priest, in the village, in the very small town, rather than in the big city. That is why priests who are in the churches of Moscow Patriarchate in the small villages, they really can even not copy-paste the narratives of Kremlin, but instead of it to be as much as possible out of the politics. And this is their way to not help Russia. And on the higher level, in the big cities, again, they try to find the way to silence the very provocative part of the narrative, not again to be under the prosecution, and in the same time to try to be neutral as much as possible, and not to be to show themselves as a big patriots. But in some towns and some cities like Odessa, for example, the main priest is on his position for more than 30 years. And this is a priest of Moscow Patriarchate. And that means that he is the main person for in the network of hundreds of churches in Odessa region, which Russia sees as a very pro-Russian region. But in the same time, in Odessa region, this priest, this organization is gathering money for Ukrainian army since 2022. And I know that this priests from Odessa region, they are in a very close communication with Ukrainian authorities, meaning that they are really under strong monitoring, and they don't do copy-paste the Russian narratives in the way Russia wants. But again, they found the way to communicate with the people on the very, very neutral level, so not to show that they support Russia, and in the same time not to make it in the very super patriotic way, not to make Russia make accusations against them. And of course, I believe it's like kind of diplomacy. And it really depends on the priest. How can he be flexible, and how can he not support Russia, but in the same time not to show himself as Bandera and a crazy nationalist, as Russia says.
We've talked mostly about the internal mechanics of the church, but we know that freedom of religion and this Orthodox topic is used by Moscow to try to manipulate the foreign allies of Ukraine, especially in the US, where you have large evangelical communities. This is massively weaponized. Could you describe how that works, and actually how we can counter this particular propagandistic narrative that Ukraine is persecuting believers, etc., etc.?
After the Revolution of Dignity in 2014, when the Ukrainian politicians started to raise the question, is it okay to have a religion structure which is controlled by Russia, which already occupied the part of our territory? And when we started even just to discuss this topic, that we need to make investigations deeper in the structure of Moscow Patriarchate, Russian authorities started to make the scandals about this topic, blaming that Ukrainian state power is fighting with independent priests and religion. And it's not okay in the democracy like Ukraine to block the people from some religion organizations. But when Ukrainian state power was shown as a monster, Russians didn't even made the explanation that Ukraine fights not against the religion. We are fighting for our national security interests, and we understand that Russia is our enemy, and it uses the church for political reasons and to brainwash our people, and again to use this infrastructure in a military way. And this was not shown for the Western audience. So from the Western perspective, it seemed like Ukrainian state power make repressions against Moscow Patriarchate churches just without the reason, just because maybe they didn't like how in this church some religious information is brought to people, which is of course not true. And even right now, the process of decolonization of Moscow Patriarchate churches from Russia is ongoing process, and it will take some years, I believe, to cut all the connections with Russia, which unfortunately right now exists.
Liubov, your work is incredibly detailed, incredibly well structured, and I think people will find the arguments in it clear. We're going to put a link to the article. It is in Ukrainian, but I think using Google Translate, people will have no problem getting to the details of that. And this is an incredibly important topic, as you say, internally here in Ukraine, but also because it forms a central part of one of Russia's propagandistic narratives, which is being turned against Ukraine and trying to divide Ukraine's allies from it. Thank you so much for spending the time to talk here, especially up here on the windy tower overlooking the Pechorska Lavra, which was hit by a Russian missile recently. Fortunately, the repairs are well underway and the main structure of the building hasn't been destroyed, but I think it will help to convey to people why Ukraine needs to defend its security interests as well as people's minds as well to resist invasion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jonathan, and I hope you will find this interesting. Come to my social media, and if you have more questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Khartia is a Ukrainian corps operating around Kupiansk, which is a critical area of the front. Now, this campaign won't be for everybody. It is a kinetic campaign in that we are crowdsourcing here for funds to buy vampire drones. 15, in fact. 5 of those have already been achieved in this campaign, but we are looking to scale this up to get the full amount of $40,000 US. That's going to Jigger's Paw that are handling this. This is an incredibly important campaign. There are many creators who are taking part in this. My view is that it's not enough at this point just to help Ukraine to survive. It's not enough just to invest in humanitarian causes. Not everyone's going to be comfortable with this, but they have to remove the invaders from their lands. To do that, they need the skills, the munitions, the weaponry to achieve that. This is where these vampire drones come in. So please, this isn't a full polished promo. I'm still working on that, but the campaign launches today. Please do check it out and, of course, help in any way that you can.